good afternoon, everyone. Hi, this is JoepeP, and you're listening to Every Car Has a Story. And with me is my trusty sidekick, the man who knows everything about, that's right, the 1958 Rambler.
You're right, it was a great car. Actually, I think I said in the past, I had a 57 Rambler Rebel, which was one of the very, very first performance car to racing rear end. It had a high-speed V8, and nobody knew. But there you go. Great story. Hey, listen, we're listening to up and down the East Coast, all the way from Statesville to 100.7, 106.7 in Wilmington, and 99.5, the Hot Talk station down in Myrtle Beach. So there you go. We're starting to expand, and we're looking for some more stations.
That's right there. So, hey, listen. There's car guys all over the place, car girls all over the place, and we want to be all over the place, all over the map there.
Absolutely.
But we got an exciting show there. Kayla in Search of Classic Cars. She's going to be showing us the Zen of all, the 1941 Ford, which I'm not really a fan of the grill. It just seems like.
We don't have to look at that.
It's
get a feel
you had a
that.
nice looking grill in 40, but then this was like really?
Something happened.
Yeah, something happened there. So we got some nice video, and Kayla sent over some nice photos of the car too, and then we have of course we have a great video now. John Gaffney, who's a buddy of mine on Facebook, he sent a video over to me, and it's a Falcon, but they made the hardtop go into the trunk.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And it has like a little trailer.
Yeah.
That's half of a Falcon.
Huh.
I think it's a 62.
I'll
so
be
that'll
darned.
be coming up during our video break. So,
That's
of course,
gonna be-
to our radio audience, you'll be listening to music from the Palm Tree Room high atop the Murkinson building here in Wilmington,
But
North
you can
Carolina.
see the video on Facebook, right?
You can see it on Facebook Live, and of course you could see it on our YouTube page.
All right.
And then we have Uncle Jesse. Right now he's getting a turkey club sandwich at Schwab's, and he'll be telling about the exciting news that's going on with Angel's Garage, which will be premiering this September on NBC Sports Network.
Well, that time's coming right up.
That's coming right up there, and then after that we have the Southern California's SoCal king of pinstriping, Johnny Martinez. He'll be coming up on the second half.
That's got to be a fabulous story. Those are the fellas that always figured out how they do it, and they do it freehand. My hand shakes a lot. Of course, you're an artist, so you got a steady hand.
I was trained as a graphic artist.
Yeah.
And as a graphic artist, we were trained. Yes, at one time we were trained with T-squares and angles and compasses.
Right.
But to work with a brush is a totally different animal.
Yeah.
It's.
Well, to be
I
able
don't
to have
do a
that
good job.
Well, not only the capability to make the designs, I guess you've got to kind of visualize all that before you start, right, Joe?
Well, we can ask those questions there.
We'll find out all about it, sure.
So what do you got in the world of automotive there?
Well, I think we got time for a Stump Joe. We got a couple of different Stump Joe.
Yep.
about,
Nick's going
sure.
down to the orchestra pit there.
Yeah.
And we got a Stump Joe.
Yeah, this one really kind of caught me off guard. The United States has 300 million automobiles. That's amazing. Our population's 350 million. That means we got a car for just about everything that's rolling up and down the road.
That's right, yeah.
So the question is, what is the second country with the number of automobiles, and approximately how many automobiles do they have?
Here, let me
Get your calculator out.
let me figure this one out here. I'm going to say it's China.
Well, the first part's right. Now, how many automobiles do you think they have? Now, we've got 300 million. And the first part, right, China is the next largest country with automobiles. But how many think they got? I mean, they got like 1 billion people there, right?
Oh, I would have to say it would have to be triple of what the United States has.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
So do you think they've got 600,000 automobiles? That seems like an awful lot.
Yeah, but look how many people are over there.
Yeah, but
you know.
I think only in the last 5 years could those people think about buying a car. Here's the answer. The answer is the Chinese are the second largest country in ownership of automobiles, but they only have about 78,000. 70,
Really?
I'm sorry, yeah, 78 million automobiles. Get that right. So that's substantially below the automobile rate in the United States. So now you know why there are all these traffic jams here. 300 million automobiles, Joe? Golly.
But then
amazing.
you have to think about it. It's the junkyards, and the scrapping.
I don't know if they're counting those. I think they're.
No, well, I'm not saying that, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
like these cars are eventually going to end up
Oh, right.
in the scrap heap.
Yes.
And of course, their environmental laws are far way different than ours.
That's true.
And so you figure all these cars, and they're just scrapping them and scrap. It's like full of confusion. Oh, God, that's too much. But then you have to think about all the other countries that have cars.
I know, but remember we had the young lady on that had car caravans throughout the world, and she went to China. She said the Chinese roads were absolutely magnificent all the way to India.
Right.
So I guess we know what's going to happen. They're going to be buying cars like crazy there in China.
Yeah, that was Roundabout. Was it Roundabout?
Yeah, delightful lady. That's a wonderful.
Oh,
we need to have
man,
her.
We
back
got to
on.
have her back
Yeah,
on.
agree.
I mean, they go. They'll have tours that will go to Peking. They'll go ones from Paris to Belgium.
That would be so much fun.
Maybe she should have one from Wilmington, North Carolina to Wrightsville Beach. That'd be a trip. Ooh, barbecue. Hey, there we go. Anyway,
make your reservations.
Make your reservations anyway. But saw a lot of great looking cars on Facebook. You know, people posting, and it's getting to be that time of the year because now the snow has finally ended. And I was talking to Kayla the other day, and she finally put away her winter shovel.
She did.
For a month.
She actually sent me a message on Facebook. She said that she's looking for an engine for a Mustang that she's acquired.
Oh, well, that's her grandfather's car.
That's her grandfather's car. So anybody that's got a Mustang, I think she wants to go with a V8.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody that knows of a good V8 Mustang engine, let us know.
That's right, and it's like don't be afraid to send me a message,
right. Yeah,
because I'll answer it, when I get around to it. Well, anyway, just came in from our virtual reality trailer, parked down on Front and Chestnut here. Is Kayla in search of classic cars with Zen. Good afternoon, Kayla. How are you?
Good. How about you?
We're doing good.
Yeah, we're
doing good. It is a beautiful day here in Wilmington. The birds are chirping and the people are honking their horns. And I'll tell you, I just have to tell you this. It's just bananas driving here to the studio today because today's the last day of school here in Wilmington, and the kids are.
Oh no!
Yeah. So now every nut and his brother's out. I was at a traffic light, and that's right, Nick. Thank you. I was at a traffic light, and this woman gets out of her car and she's running up to me. I figured maybe she wanted my autograph. Oh, that's that guy from Every Car Has a Story, and she's knocking on the bus door saying that her kid got on the bus and should have been. And it's like, wow, lady, this is not the place to do it. So anyway, So when does schools get out in Montana there, Kayla?
I believe, well, you know what? I'm not 100% sure. I think it just depends on the schools, really. Okay. I think it was like 2 days ago.
Wow, they get out early out there. Wow.
Well, think up there they'd have a lot of snow days. They kind of keep going until September, and then they start again because I'm not even going to go there. But I imagine it's exciting to be in Montana. And the winters are got to be real interesting.
Well,
we hardly have snow days because everybody's so used to the snow.
Oh, they're all used to it. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be. There's been a couple times where it was like really bad, where nobody should be driving at all. But if it's a foot, they're still sending their kids to school.
Yeah, and down here, if you just get a little wisp
Oh,
You see a couple of flakes in the air, and everybody goes screaming to the Walmart to buy all the food.
Well, the thing, you see, Kayla, we have one snow removal plow here in Wilmington, and if we got like 2 years ago, we had like 2 inches of snow, and it shut the city down for 5 days. Whereas in Connecticut, when I used to live up there, that would be like a 90-minute school delay.
Right.
So, it's like the last major storm here in Wilmington was in 1989, and they said they got 25 inches of snow, which I think would have had to cripple everything for months, I mean, well, anyway. So we're not talking about Al Roker's weather report. We're talking about Kayla's In Search of Classic Cars with Zen. And we have a car here that, Kayla, why don't you tell the audience what this car is all about and what made this car say, buy me, buy me?
It had been up for sale for actually a couple of years. Or at least a year. It felt like a couple of years at the time, but it was about a year. And had been watching it on Craigslist, and the price dropped significantly. And so I decided I was going to go take a look at it because I found out it was only 5 minutes from my house. And, I told my grandpa, I'll be right back. And he's like, you better not be looking at another car. But
you were.
That's what happened. And
you were. You bought another car.
I bought another car.
And
it's a 1941 Ford sedan. Interesting story is that the guy that originally owned that car, had the car before the scrapper got it, his son was there. And he doesn't live there or anything. He just happened to be there. So he kind of told me the story. Yeah, it was his dad's dream car. And sadly, his father passed away, and he sold it to his dad's friend for $1, thinking the friend was going to fix it up.
Sure.
And then I guess hard times hit, and that friend sold it to the scrapper. And he was just about to take it to the crusher and get money for the metal. And we hit a point where metal wasn't worth anything and went down to zero. He decided to sell it as a project car.
Well, that's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the design, what it looks like. I'm trying to see a picture here. Yeah.
It is in pieces. What makes it unusual, and a lot of people, even around town, remember the ad, is because of the hood. There's some rocket design on the hood, and that is from... Somebody had put some Oldsmobile rockets on the hood at one time, and it sat for a long time.
Yeah.
So when it snowed or weathered it, it created this rocket design on the rust of the hood.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's kind of unique patina, and I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, don't paint that because that's unusual." But
it is. Now, is this a four-door sedan?
This is a two-door sedan.
It's a two-door sedan. And what kind of an engine does it have?
It does not have an engine. I don't know what happened to it at that point. Like I said, the guy's father was he was right in the middle of partying it out, not partying it out, taking it apart and rebuilding it when he passed.
Well, I'm
so
trying
I have
to remember
no idea.
if Joe did any research on those. I see a picture of it now. Did those come with that flathead V8 that Ford had, or did that come up? I think Ford had a four-cylinder engine. It was either a four-cylinder or was the flathead 8.
I believe it was that one. I think it was a smaller flathead, but I believe they did come out in a V8.
Okay. Well, I know that they came out with a V8, but that was later. I think all the way up until the 50s. And Joe, you can correct me if I'm wrong. They had that flathead. Well, I guess it was a V8.
Up to 54.
Right. You're right.
Like with General Motors, I know that for a fact.
Because Ford came out with the first V8, and I think that could have been one of the options, which would have been a great engine for that car, with a two-door coupe. So what are your plans for this car?
I think at one time somebody had hot rod it, but I would like to kind of do an old school hot rod. So I don't want to do modern materials. I would like to do, back in the 50s or 40s when they would use something around that time to create a hot rod. I would like to do something like that.
Okay.
Find the hood ornaments, the Oldsmobile hood ornaments that were on it.
Yep.
Those were going to be, because those are actually kind of a rare, I think there was a 1950 Oldsmobile 88, I believe, hood ornament.
Sure.
So it'd be kind of hard for me to come across them. But, yeah, just have fun with it. I would like, I don't want to be all original because it's in pieces. It'd really be kind of difficult for me to do that.
Well, the car looks like the body looks like, or the metal panels look like they're in very good shape. And of course, back then, Ford had its own steel plant, the River Rouge plant. So it was Ford steel, literally.
Yep.
And so that car is very well put together. We always said that something changed, and I think it was in the early 50s, that the metal either got thinner or they did something to it because rust became much more predominant in some of these early 50 cars. This car, the panels look like they're pretty straight and pretty rust-free, aren't they?
Yeah. Hey, Kayla.
Yeah, they are.
If someone came up to you and said, "I want to buy this," what would you think? I mean, off the top of your head, I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, but it's like, what do you think something like that would go for now?
You know what? Probably like 800.
800?
900.
Sure.
Because it has a title. Usually, when you have a vehicle that has a title that old, it's worth a little more because some states it's very difficult to get a title for.
Right. And you're absolutely right on that.
So probably around 800 to 900.
Okay. So Dusty, I have a question, and Kayla, I have a question for you. Oh, is there a serial number still available on this? I mean, how do you register a car when it has?
Well, part of an interesting story about Ford is, even all the way up, I guess, until the late 60s, people would say, and I have a little 55 Ford Thunderbird, and they say, well, is it numbers matching? And, of course, General Motors said the numbers on the engine, the transmission, the body were supposed to be consecutive, and those parts all came together. Ford didn't do that. There are no matching numbers Ford cars all the way up probably until the mid-60s. So if you got a 50, and so on this car, even if you had the engine, wouldn't have made any difference. You couldn't have told that was matching or not. But looking at this car, based upon what Kayla said she wanted to do, I'm guessing to put an engine in it and to make it kind of an old resto-mod, not put a very expensive paint job on it, you could probably do it for $4,000 or $5,000, have a lot of fun. What do you think, Kayla?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, and you're right. They didn't really do like matching numbers, or you could kind of get whatever. I would think if you wanted to restore it from that era, you would have to do your research on like era appropriate.
Yeah, they would be area appropriate as far as the type of engine that they put in it. But I don't think that's where you're really going with this. I think you just want to make kind of a hot rod cruiser. Find an engine that you really like to put in there and make it mechanically very sound, because the body, it's got a great body. I love the body on that. It's a two-door. Yeah. So you have a lot of fun with that car.
Title, there is a VIN number on, or I guess you should say a body number on the frame.
Yes.
And in Montana, you would use that as a VIN number. Now, if they said no, you could buy a VIN number. Would give you a VIN number for the vehicle.
Well, I think since it's an historical car, whatever's on the title they would accept. The new VIN numbers, somebody correct me, I think they're like 14 different letters and digits. And that's fairly recently, going back to the 50s, you could have VIN numbers that were 7 or 8 digits. And on the title, they seem to accept those. And the fact that you do have the title is fantastic. And you are absolutely right, because that's a very, very valuable piece of history, as we keep talking about. Every car has a story. So that's a great find.
Wow. It's, again, history. Here's a car that was made just before the Second World War.
Yep.
And Kayla and I were, she was showing me everything, and then she was showing me photos of the car. And then, of course, we came across the brochure for that car. But the grill just seemed like, you know how you had the swooping grill for the Mercs and the Fords, like a 40?
Yes.
And you think they would have exaggerated it more, but this was like, hey, listen, we got to get this car out.
We got to get this out.
Slap a grill on it.
That's exactly what they did.
But a lot of it is happenstance. Remember, we had a guest on, and the fellow that wrote the books on grills, and he was saying that the 57 Chevy grill, they were trying to catch up to Chrysler, and the designers were in a rush, and they kind of threw a grill on there, and they said, oh, it'll never fly. It turned out to be one of the most iconoclastic grills ever designed. So you never know.
Well, as we used to say in advertising, they lucked out. They really lucked out. So, Kayla, we're going to wind up your segment on the show. And again, thank you so much for all your hard work that you're doing. And Kayla, do you want to tell the audience what you're planning for future episodes of Kayla's in Search of Classic Cars with Zen?
I'm reaching out to some people right now that have classic cars of their own. And so be kind of a surprise, and I'll keep in touch with you guys.
Oh, that'd be love surprises.
Stay tuned there. Stay tuned there.
You catch us off guard, so we don't know everything about the car. So
that's right.
We kind of make it up as we go, though.
Yeah, we just do it on the fly. Well, anyway, Kayla, thank you so very much. I truly appreciate all the hard work you're doing, and I believe this is the 9th time Kayla's been on.
That's fantastic.
And you know, she's coming up with great ideas how to expand her segment, which is exciting. And hey, every car has a story. It's excitement.
Great stories.
Great stories. Great. Kayla, thank you so much. We'll be talking to you real soon.
See you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
See you later, Gator. All right. Kayla Rain Dancer. And, you know, to me, it's what's really great is like watching these videos. I'm watching the snow melt on the mountains. So if we go back, like say 8 weeks ago, there was a ton of snow out there on the mountaintops. You know, I'm ready for Julie Andrews to come waltzing out of Kayla's field and say, "The hills are blind."
All the dogs are barking on Main Street.
Anyway, well, to our radio audience, if you'd like to see what we're talking about, you can go to our YouTube page and see today's show number 79.
Oh my goodness,
79,
boy.
And that. So hey, time for commercials before we say goodbye. Well, we're a little anxious there, Nick. Oh, that's right. I got it. Hi, this is JoepeP, and you know what? It's like we like to thank our sponsors for being an important part of Every Car Has a Story. And you know what? Sometimes things just don't go well, but you know what? It's radio, it's YouTube, it's everything. So here is Captain Dusty to say a word about our sponsors.
We want to talk about our wonderful sponsor, Manifest Design, 3065 Howard Avenue. And that's in Market Common in Myrtle Beach. And I tell you what, folks absolutely love that store. They see that Cobra, 65 Shelby Cobra in the showroom, and they come in and then they all go, wow, what a place. It's got incredible designer furniture from North Carolina. It's got beautiful, beautiful propellers, model propellers, beautiful airplanes. It's got some really neat stuff. It's got purses for women. And one of the purses that came in are made out of old army tents, and they just absolutely love those. Can you imagine it? The canvas bags that they're made. So there's so many things there, and the delightful Connie will tell you more about the store. It's about 4,000 square feet, so there's lots and lots to see. There are gifts for men, there are wallets, there are beautiful furniture, leather furniture. There's the Mustang chair that everybody comes and loves, and there's JoepeP's artwork and all kinds of beautiful seaside scenes.
Makes a great Christmas gift, folks.
It does, absolutely. So it's 3065 Howard Avenue. That's in Market Common in Myrtle Beach. It's 910-515-1333. And you'll be thrilled to go in there. It's a destination. And we want to also talk about...
I don't know if we can do that one there. You just ate up a lot of time
did
there.
Did I really?
Yeah.
We'll come back and talk a little bit about Eddie's Hot Rod and
Collision.
Yeah,
all right. So, hey, time for video. I'd like to say thanks to Mark Gaffney for this great video. So you're listening to JoepeP. Every car has a story.
Go for it.
You got it, or you want me to do it, Alex?
I got it.
There goes the back seat.
Might get somebody to help me move my cover. We're going to put the cover on the back seat.
Yes, it is.
Pretty close there. What? I got to snap it in place, hold it in place.
And good afternoon, everyone, all all the cars around the world and through the universe. You're listening to JoepeP, host of Every Car Has a Story, and with me is my trusty sidekick. Let me get my teeth fixed. Sidekick, Dusty.
Yeah, we want to talk very quickly about Papa Shine. Absolutely incredible car products. Got the Papa Shine Mist, the Papa Shine car products waxes. Listen, I do demos down in Myrtle Beach with customers that come in. They cannot believe it. And we did a YouTube pre-show demonstration, which is absolutely fabulous. It's 615-207-9354. Ask for Greg. You can get more information. Made in the USA. And it is the most dynamic car care product I've ever seen. The wax is actually like a hand cream. You put it on, you wipe it off right away. So it doesn't even have a chance to set up. It's easy on, easy off. Put on in the sun, put it on in any kind of weather. And then the mist, it just makes that car pop. You put that on once a week or so after you get the base wax. Fantastic product.
Here, let me just say something here. Use on gloss and flat paint, chrome, glass, ABS plastic, fiberglass, stainless steel, Lexan, and much, much more. And hey, give Greg a phone call. Now, I know there's a phone number here somewhere.
It's 615-207-9354. That's in Nashville, Tennessee.
USA.
And this is normally only sold very, very specially at car shows, but we're now promoting it nationally. You can get it from Greg here in Nashville, or you can give us a call at Manifest Design at 910-352-2326. It's available here in the Carolinas. We want to talk very quickly about Eddie's Hot Rod and Collision. And he's now moved to 8869 Kings Road in Leland, 910-833-5473, Joe.
Well, and you heard it here first, folks. Now, for our friends around the world listening to us on the radio, you know, it's what's really nice is what's better than just sitting back and relaxing, you know, and it's a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to Every Car Has a Story.
Yes.
You know, and you're sitting back and you're relaxing, and if you have a good imagination, you can see the cars that we're talking about.
Yes.
And that's the power of radio. And next week, Dusty and I are going to go topless. We're not going to wear.
Think about that. You know,
we're not going to wear hats. But anyway,
well, Cousin Brucey always said radio was theater of the mind. So just tune that one out.
That's right. So, and you know what? Talk about radio. Mm-hmm. It's when I worked with Uncle Jesse at Warner Brothers back in 1938.
Yep.
You know, Jesse had just he was doing the Red Skelton show with you know, and he was one of the guys that he was one of the actors there.
Yep.
But Jesse's down at Schwab's Pharmacy. And what I understand, he just finished his turkey tuna club, and say that 5 times fast, kids. So without further ado, the man who says Angel's Garage on NBC Sports Network this fall, Uncle Jesse. Hey, Uncle Jesse.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
We can't top that, right?
Right. Wow, what an exciting weekend you had there, Jesse. Why don't you tell our audience what's going on?
Wow. Well, we've been filming on location, and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's been very hot out there in the desert, but we've been doing the best we can. We did part of the intro for the episode, and I think it's going well, except we couldn't get our drones to get up there and start filming the car chase. Oh. So we're postponing that till this weekend and start early before the wind starts.
So the drones were affected by the wind out there, that desert wind, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You bet.
Yeah. Now, how far are you from Los Angeles out there in the desert? Are you far away?
Well, I'm about 95 miles from set, from that area, and I'm about 45 miles due east of L.A.
Wow, so that is really out in the desert then.
Yeah,
well, that's
Scorpion territory.
Yeah, the high desert. Yeah, that's fantastic.
But I mean, it must be, you know, it's like Jesse and I, we had a very long conversation this week, and hard work. This is about hard work. This segment 2 is about hard work paying off. and just you have a dream and you're going for it and going for it, and you're working at it and you're working at it and you're seeing no results. And there's many times where, hey, we've all been in that boat. We're ready to give up, and then there's like a glimmer of hope, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
The sun
and,
shines through the clouds. It's like it's still up there.
the birds are out.
Yeah.
But and it's so nice that it's like now you're with, as I said to Jesse, I says now Angel's Garage is now with NBC Sports Network. You can't
Right.
get any bigger than that.
That's dynamite.
You know,
Absolutely dynamite.
and so you must be thrilled beyond belief.
Oh, yes, I am very much. We all are. And as we speak, Angela and Mark are getting the pinstriping on the 1978 Ranchero that we're going to be using in the car chase.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's looking pretty good, but they have to do it before it gets up to 106 like it does up there, and because of the kind of shop they have, it's not one of these Hollywood type
No,
sound
where it's air
stages.
conditioned.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then what yep, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you please.
So what I understand is that once the pinstriping is all done, then photos go to our gal Kayla Rain Dancer, who will be doing a watercolor painting of this automobile, and then that will be presented to the owner. Correct?
I believe that's correct. Yes, you're right.
So I mean, there's a lot of exciting things going on.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. I
And
can't
before
wait.
that,
What's that, Jess?
I was just going to say, and before we get too far, there is something very special for every car has a story. We've made it part of our intro, and
that's great.
I think it's exciting just to think about it, and I'd like to just share it that everybody is going to really enjoy it, and I know you folks will, because you both are being showcased with what we're doing. Okay.
Oh, that's fantastic.
To
really
me,
excited.
I'm like, I can't believe. It's like, to me, it's like, wow, this is fantastic, and but I can't wait to go down to the local toy store and buy the Uncle Jesse action figure doll.
I don't know how much action. But okay.
Pinstripe cars sold separately. New from Mattel. Anyway, well, Uncle Jesse, thank you so very much. And if you listen in, we're going to have Johnny Martinez, who's a SoCal guy, the king of pinstriping out in your neck of the woods. So he'll be coming up next. But Jesse, thank you so much. And it was great talking to you this week.
We'll talk to you. Talk to you next week. Thanks so much.
A lot of exciting things, and it's what's that old saying? Good things happen to those who wait. And it's so true. And I've known Angela a year this month, and I'd never dreamed that this would all happen a year ago.
It's going to be exciting. September's coming right up. Yeah,
that's right. I'll go topless when that comes.
No,
out.
Don't say that.
No, I won't wear a hat. That's right.
Okay.
I won't wear a hat. So coming up next, we have Johnny Martinez. He is Southern California's king of pinstriping, and the thing is, we had a remarkable phone call yesterday morning, and how he got where he is at. And this is what this whole conversation about. And, of course, pinstriping. But this all happened to him at age 60.
Wow.
This is a
second career in age 60.
So this will be really, really good to hear. And, the thing is that if you want something in life, you got to work at it.
Got to have a passion. And sometimes it just takes us a little bit longer to find it. You got a passion, you got the talent to go with it. Boy, that really helps. And obviously, Johnny's got a lot of talent.
And the part is too that if you see somebody and they're doing a drawing or they're doing a painting, it's that give them creative criticism, and that I'll tell you that is fuel for fire.
Is it really?
Well, I'll teach you how to connect the dots one day.
Okay.
So anyway, coming out of our virtual reality dressing room in Southern California is my buddy, Johnny Martinez, king of Southern California pinstriping. How you doing there, Johnny?
How are you, Joe? Nice to be here.
Oh,
Well, welcome.
Well, I hope our virtual reality dressing room was to your liking and full of virtual reality donuts and cakes and pies.
Absolutely. Why not?
Well, Johnny, tell the audience about how you got started, all the what you've done in life, and then about the world of pinstriping for you.
Well, Joe, as a kid, I always, had little toy cars and things. So I had an interest in cars early on. When I was old enough to have something, all I wanted was a cool car to drive. To go to the big shows was just a dream. And when I achieved that, I went to Grand Nationals. Was for the second time actually in 2013, which was it's the Granddaddy show.
Sure.
And this my second time there. I was in the Rod and Custom buildings, and I won that show in my class. And so that is when I decided I wanted to learn how to pinstripe, and simply just to learn how to do it. And it went a lot further than that, and that's how I got started. I self-taught myself, and it just went from there.
Johnny, anybody in your family in the arts? Like my grandfather and his brother, they always would, as people would say, doodle. But his brother later on was a sign painter in New York City.
Oh,
sure. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, anybody in your family like that, or this is just something that something inspired you and you started doing this?
Joe. Who inspired me was a good friend of mine. That's how I actually, took the interest. He was a guy that striped everything that I ever drove or my motorcycles. It's a funny thing. It kind of goes backwards. My son is an amazing artist. So, I would watch him. I didn't necessarily learn from him. I was just in awe with that. But I used to doodle and scribble as a kid and build model cars, and that kind of influenced me. But nobody else in the family and my following, I just wanted to learn how to do it, and I self-taught.
It's a lost art. There are not many people who know how to do that. I know that here locally, we had a fellow that had some damage to one of his cars, and we I think Joe found a local fellow that knew how to do it, but it is a lost art. And I'm not even sure how you get to be self-taught. You said you had some assistance, but there's a lot more to that than just painting lines. I mean, you have to visualize what the car is going to look like, what the pinstriping is going to do to enhance the car. And it's like a doctor, do no harm, right?
Right.
So So there's quite a lot to it. So let's go back to the very beginning, when you say you're self-taught. My hands are not that straight. Well, I was talking to Joe. I said my fingers are not that. He's making faces.
Captain Shakes.
Yeah, Captain Shaky.
Captain Shaky.
So first of all, do you have to have a steady hand? Let's start there.
Well, you do. You have to have a steady hand, and you're looking at your work for any length of time. I might add, I self-taught myself at age 60. And that's just totally insane. I mean, it makes no sense. I've got good friends who are stripers right now, and they've been striping 20, 25 years. And I've actually collaborated with a couple of these people.
That's
where we've striped and signed our name, and off it went to an auction. So I'm amazed sometimes how fast it came for me.
That's amazing. Now, do you have to have special brushes to do this? I mean, how do you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about that.
You do. You use their striping brushes. They're cut in the shape of a sword. They come in different number aughts. You've got 0, 00, 000, and so on. And they all do a specific line. And you've got to teach yourself pressure pushing down, and you got to learn the brushes, but they all have a purpose. Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is that these brushes are what I can remember are very expensive. You just don't go down to Walgreens and get the watercolor brushes. And I mean, this is something where as an artist, I'll look back at my work and I'll see something that maybe the common person will not see, but I'll go back and I'll fix it. And I know Johnny's the same way because it's this is your work. And now, Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong, but did I see a photograph where you had pinstriped a street, or am I thinking of somebody else?
You know, there was a picture that got floated around, and it was sent to me a bunch of times. It looked like a cruise night or a car show, and down
Yes.
the center of the street was a huge pinstriping design. And I don't know if that was real or photoshopped
It's
or
probably
what, but I'll tell you
Photoshop.
what,
Okay.
it
Well-
was pretty cool. But I will say real quickly, my other house where I moved from, I actually, one night I was in my garage and I was working on something, and I just looked around, and that's what happens when I'm in there. And I looked down at my garage floor. I saw a nice clean spot, and I actually pinstriped my garage floor.
Wow.
So,
That is absolutely
yeah, that was a little bit oddball.
No, that's not oddball. I'd love to have you do my garage floor. That's a work of art.
You
Now,
do know you're going to
yeah,
have to pay for Johnny's airfare,
but
lodging,
it would
meals.
be worth it. I'm
you
telling
know.
you. You know, you go out and you buy a beautifully expensive car these days and age, and you look at it, and it's got some kind of a cellophane stripe thing they put down the side, and it just
Yeah,
it does. I mean, if
absolutely.
you really want to have a personalized, beautiful car, that's the way to go. Have it done professionally. Absolutely.
So Johnny, okay, as a graphic designer, logo, design posters, draw automobiles and all other razzmatazz. The one of the things is that when a client comes up to you for design, they have something in mind, but now you have to interpret.
Yes.
Interpret. Is that the right word? Anyway,
Yeah.
the what they want, and so I mean, to me, it's you get pinstriping. It's the line going down the side of the car.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
And so let's make believe that I'm in your studio, and I go, okay, what could you do to really make it that wow factor?
Well, I
Sure.
think you've got to start with the premise. What kind of a car do you have, Joe? Before you start
Okay,
there.
so
You've
this
gotta-
is
yeah.
okay. This all right. So let's make
Sure.
believe I have a 1934
Ooh.
Ford hot rod.
Oh,
Okay, and the chrome is just like blinding, and Ken Vella, you know, he just swears off the road because he sees the brightness of the engine.
This is not a resto rod. This is a real beauty.
Good old
Yeah, this is a
Okay,
beauty. You know,
okay.
Fireball Tim.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to make a coloring book out of this, and okay.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Okay. And it comes with a pair of sunglasses.
You
So,
bet.
so do you scrap the idea as to what the client wants, or how do you go about it?
No, never do I do that. I generally ask the customer first what their idea is. And I've learned a lot of times, even with myself, I'm thinking of something or they're thinking of something, and when it goes down in the reel, it's not quite how they envisioned it.
Right.
They give me colors too as well, and sometimes colors don't work when
Right.
you actually put it down.
You're right.
But I ask them what they want. I get a feel for what they want. When they tell me do whatever you want, then I sort of take what they've said, if say anything to me, and I can see a car and I know where I think lines should go. And a lot of that is based on past cars where things are done. Naturally, unless it's a logo, you don't put anything in the middle of a door. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I agree.
But then in actuality, there are no rules, and that was the really fun thing about when striping started. There were no rules. It was just, make them a little bit different, and they're certainly individual when they're all done. But I can see just about what needs on almost any car. I know about where to put it.
Now, like in advertising or like a logo, it's in the old days we would provide what was called a pencil comp. Do you do like to give the client an idea as a pencil drawing first, or you just go right from paint to car?
Yeah, and to be in truth on all this, I don't sign paint. I have done lettering and logos and things like that, That's not one of my high points. But what the sign painters did, and what I've done is we do the mock on paper, and then we use this little wheel that's got little spikes, little teeth, and you follow the line, and then you pounce pad the paper, and the powder comes through, and it photographs onto your surface, and that's how they do it. That's how I've done it.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, and it's real effective.
So, Johnny, we're talking about all this, it's like meeting with the client, designing something, wowing them, working with the colors, because I know you don't just put red paint on a red car.
No.
And I've seen that. But so tell our audience around the world and through the United States, the name of your business and where they can find you.
Well, I go by Wicked Lines Pinstriping, and I'm mainly right now I'm on social media. I have not made anything a big deal about any of it because I never thought that any of this would happen.
Yep.
But people find me on social media, and now anymore now, it's been word of mouth. I know so many people. I've got pieces in Sweden, Denmark, New Zealand. And it's all word of mouth and through mutual friends. But on social media, and then I'm Wicked Suede on Instagram. They can see me there, and they can see a lot of what I do. And I'm at shows. I'm at local shows in Southern California, usually in a booth, and I'm very approachable. And I love the best thing about all of this, my hot rod, my success with that. With the pinstriping is the people.
Yes.
That is what motivates me, and I am just so blessed for that.
Car guys are the very best guys.
Right.
They're great guys.
Do you have any events? We got around a minute left. Any events you're going to be at this Saturday or Sunday?
Well, I've got a maritime event that I'm going to be out here locally where I live. I was graciously invited by Maureen Magnuson, the Magnuson Supercharger. Her husband, Jerry, the late Jerry Magnuson. She's invited me to be there, and I've got a couple of shows through the rest of this month down south, Fountain Valley, and out in Anaheim. I'll be doing a show there for ALS.
Wow,
fantastic!
God bless you on that.
Fantastic.
Well, Johnny Martinez, you are an inspiration. Age 60, so for
66.
Well, you're 66 now,
Hey.
but okay, but 6 years
Never
later.
too late to start when you've got
That's
talent and
right.
passion.
So
Absolutely.
listen here, you folks that are hitting 60, get off your asterisk and start doing something, and because it's really, thank you, Nick. It's one of these things where when you achieve your goal, it's bigger than life. It's just incredible. Johnny, thank you so
Thanks,
much for being on Every Car Has a Story. Anytime we can ever help you, you know where to call. Just shine the bat signal on the clouds, and we'll be there. Okay.
Well, I really appreciate it, and thanks for having me on the show. And God bless all you guys out there. And Southern California is one of the best places to be.
Okay.
It is. Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks,
right.
Johnny. Take care.
Thank you.
And where Johnny lives, he's near the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So he posts on his Facebook page these beautiful, like sunset photos.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And
it's like, wow, these are
gorgeous out there.
great. And then I show him the website for the beaches out here. So anyway, why don't you tell the audience who's coming up next week there?
Oh, it's going to be one of my favorite, very, very fellows, Reeves Callaway. Of course, people that know Callaway Corvettes and General Motors Callaway. It's a great story. He's a great guy. Owns his own private helicopter. We'll be talking some flight stories, too.
Hey,
so.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So remember, hands at 10 and 2. Ditch the cell phone. Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day. This is JoepeP.
And Dusty.
And you're listening to Every Car Has a Story. Happy motoring, everybody.